In this video, I'll expose the exact lies TikTok has been feeding you and show you what this really means for the future of every social media platform you use. TikTok isn't just another app making mistakes. It's a carefully designed system built on deception. By the end of this video, you'll understand why everything you thought you knew about social media was completely backwards. Here's what TikTok wants you to believe. They say their algorithm simply shows you what you like. Neutral. Fair. Based on your interests. This sounds reasonable, but it's the foundation of every other lie that follows. The truth? TikTok's algorithm doesn't reflect your interests. It creates them. Think about that for a second. You didn't come to TikTok wanting to watch satisfying cleaning videos at 2 in the morning. You didn't arrive on the platform desperate to see the same dance 17 times in a row. The algorithm didn't find these preferences. It built them from scratch. Here's why that matters. When TikTok claims they're just giving you what you want, they're hiding the most important part. They're deciding what you'll want tomorrow, and if you skip understanding this distinction, everything else I'm about to show you won't make sense. Most people think they control their scrolling. They believe they're choosing to watch one more video. This is exactly what TikTok needs you to think. But people who understand how this actually works see something completely different. They see a pattern you've probably never noticed. Every video on TikTok is designed to end at peak interest, not peak satisfaction. You finish watching and your brain is left hanging. Incomplete. The next video starts before you can even process what you just saw. This isn't accidental. It's the core mechanism. Your brain craves closure. When you don't get it, you keep scrolling. Not because the content is good, because the content is intentionally unfinished. You're not watching TikTok. You're trying to catch up to a feeling of completion that never arrives. In 2023, TikTok introduced screen time limits, daily reminders, wellness features. They announced these changes like they were doing you a favor. Here's what they didn't tell you. These features were designed to fail. The screen time limit? You can dismiss it with one tap. The daily reminder? It shows up after you've already been scrolling for an hour. The wellness dashboard? Buried 3 menus deep, where nobody will ever find it. This is a corporate theater. TikTok gets to say they care while changing absolutely nothing about how the app functions. Most people fall for it. They see the features and think TikTok is trying to help. But here's the contradiction that exposes everything. If TikTok actually wanted you to spend less time on the app, they would make it harder to scroll, not easier to ignore warnings. They would interrupt your flow, not give you a dismissible pop-up. The well-being features exist for one reason: legal protection. When regulators ask what TikTok is doing about addiction, they can point to these features. When parents complain, TikTok has an answer. The features aren't there to work. They're there to exist. But this is just surface-level deception. The third lie goes deeper than you think. Now that you understand how TikTok manipulates your attention and fakes concern for your well-being, here's where things get darker. TikTok's privacy policy is 47 pages long. Nobody reads it. That's intentional. Buried in Section 12 is a single sentence that changes everything. TikTok collects your location data even when you're not using the app. Think about what that means. They're tracking where you go, where you sleep, where you work, what stores you visit, what routes you take. And they're doing this 24 hours a day, whether the app is open or closed. But most people don't know this. When TikTok asks for location permissions, they say it's to show you local content, better recommendations, more relevant videos. That sounds harmless. Here's what they're actually doing. They're building a complete map of your physical life. Every pattern, every routine, every place that matters to you. And they're selling this data to advertisers who use it to manipulate you in ways you'll never see coming. Imagine this scenario. You're scrolling TikTok at midnight. The algorithm notices. 3 nights later, you're scrolling at midnight again. Pattern detected. Now TikTok knows you have trouble sleeping. They don't tell you this. They just update your invisible profile, the one you never see, the one you can't edit or delete. Suddenly, you start seeing ads for sleep supplements, meditation apps, weighted blankets. You think it's a coincidence. It's not. Your data told them exactly when you're most vulnerable to these products. This is where most explanations of data privacy completely fall apart. They focus on what data is collected. They miss what's actually dangerous. The danger isn't that TikTok knows where you live, it's that they know when you're tired, when you're lonely, when you're anxious, when you're bored. They know your emotional state better than you do. And they use that knowledge to keep you watching. And while you're being tracked and manipulated, TikTok is selling you another fantasy, one that sounds even better than the others. TikTok built its reputation on one promise. Anyone can blow up overnight. Your first video could get 1 million views. But talent matters, not follower count. It's the most democratic platform ever created. This sounds inspiring, but only in theory. Here's the reality nobody talks about. TikTok's algorithm doesn't promote content randomly. It promotes content that keeps people on the app longest. And certain types of content do this better than others. Outrage keeps people watching. Controversy keeps people commenting. Extreme behavior keeps people sharing. The algorithm doesn't care if your content is good. It cares if your content is addictive. So yes, anyone can go viral, but only if they're willing to become more extreme, more controversial, more shocking than everyone else. The democratization is real, but what it's democratizing is a race to the bottom. And if you do manage to go viral, that's when the real trap reveals itself. Most people think going viral on TikTok is the dream. Get famous, make money, quit your job. But people who've actually done this know something different. When you go viral on TikTok, the algorithm learns what worked. It expects you to do it again, and again, and again. You're not building a brand. You're becoming a content factory for one specific type of video. Stop making that content, and your views disappear overnight. The algorithm moves on. Your audience forgets you existed. You're left with 1 million followers and 0 leverage. This is the trap. TikTok makes you famous, but they own your fame. The second you stop feeding the algorithm exactly what it wants, you become irrelevant. You're not an independent creator. You're an unpaid employee producing content for TikTok's platform. Speaking of creators getting exploited by platforms, if you're finding this valuable, I'd really appreciate a like on this video. It helps other people discover this stuff, and unlike TikTok, I'm not trying to trap you into watching 17 more videos after this one. And if you want to keep seeing content that actually explains how these systems work instead of just feeding into them, consider subscribing. That's what we do here. All right, now here's the 5th lie, and honestly, this one changes everything. In 2022, a leaked internal document revealed something TikTok had denied for years. The algorithm includes manual interventions. This means real humans at TikTok can boost or suppress content whenever they want. They decide what goes viral, they decide what disappears. When the document leaked, TikTok said these interventions were rare, only used to remove harmful content, to protect users from misinformation. But here's what the document actually showed. They were suppressing content from users they deemed ugly or poor. They were hiding videos about political protests. They were manually boosting content from creators who signed exclusive deals. Think about what this destroys. The entire premise of TikTok is that the algorithm is neutral, that your content succeeds or fails based on merit, that the platform is fair. All of that was a lie. TikTok controls everything you see. They just wanted you to think you were in control. And here's where it gets even more disturbing. Now that you understand these 5 lies individually, here's where everything connects. Each lie serves the same purpose, to make you believe TikTok is on your side, that the platform exists to entertain you, help you, give you opportunities. But when you see the pattern, everything becomes clear. TikTok exists for one reason, to keep you watching as long as possible. Everything else is marketing. The algorithm that learns your interests is actually engineering them. The well-being features that protect you are actually covering TikTok legally. The data collection that improves your experience is actually profiling your vulnerabilities. The viral opportunities that democratize fame are actually exploiting creators for free content. The neutral algorithm that promotes merit is actually controlled by people you'll never meet. Every feature, every promise, every claim, all designed to hide the same truth: you're not the customer, you're the product. And TikTok is selling your attention, your data, your time, and your mental energy to the highest bidder. When people criticize TikTok, defenders always say the same thing. Facebook does it too. Instagram does it too. YouTube does it too. Why are you singling out TikTok? Well, this is the final lie, and it's the most dangerous. Yes, other platforms collect data. Yes, they use algorithms. Yes, they want your attention. But TikTok does something fundamentally different. TikTok was built from the ground up as an attention extraction machine. Every other platform started with a different purpose and slowly became addictive. Facebook wanted to connect friends. Instagram wanted to share photos. YouTube wanted to host videos. TikTok never wanted anything except your time. It has no other function, no other goal, no other reason to exist. That makes it different. Not in degree, but in kind. Now you know the lies, but here's why this matters beyond just TikTok. Every social media platform is watching what TikTok does. They're seeing the engagement rates, the time spent, the addiction metrics, and they're all moving in the same direction. Instagram added Reels, YouTube added Shorts, even LinkedIn is testing short-form video. They're not copying TikTok because it's innovative, they're copying it because it works. The future of social media isn't connection, it's not creativity, it's not community. It's infinite scroll, algorithmic control, and manufactured addiction. TikTok proved the model works. Now everyone else is adopting it. Most people think the cost of TikTok is wasted time. A few hours you could have spent doing something productive. But people who understand what's actually happening see something much bigger. TikTok isn't just stealing your time. It's rewiring how your brain processes information. You're training yourself to need constant stimulation, to feel bored after 30 seconds, to judge everything by whether it's entertaining. This affects everything. Your ability to focus at work, your patience in conversations, your tolerance for boredom, your capacity for deep thought. All of it slowly degraded, one video at a time. You're not just losing hours, you're losing your ability to do anything that requires sustained attention. And once that's gone, getting it back takes years, but what can you actually do? Here's where most videos about social media manipulation completely fail. They explain the problem, make you feel bad, then end with useless advice like just use it less or be more mindful. That doesn't work. If willpower solved addiction, addiction wouldn't exist. So here's what actually works. Change the friction, delete TikTok from your phone. Not just logged out, actually deleted, make it hard to access. If you need to watch TikTok, do it on a computer where you have to manually type in the website. The extra steps matter. Turn off all notifications from social media, not just TikTok. Everything. Your phone should never buzz because someone liked your post. That's not connection. That's Pavlovian conditioning. Set actual barriers. Use screen time limits that require a password to override. Give that password to someone else. Make breaking your own rules genuinely difficult. None of this is about self-control. It's about designing your environment so the default action is what you actually want to do. Here's what changes when you understand all of this. You stop seeing TikTok as entertainment. You start seeing it as a system designed to exploit specific vulnerabilities in human psychology. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. Every design choice makes sense. The autoplay, the endless scroll, the algorithm that always knows what you want next. None of it is accidental. All of it is intentional. But here's the empowering part. The moment you see through it, the system loses its power over you. Now you know why TikTok lies. You know what each lie hides, and you know what it means for every platform copying their model. But here's what makes this knowledge powerful. You're not helpless. Understanding how these systems work gives you the ability to choose differently. Every time you recognize the manipulation, you take back control. Every time you set a boundary, you prove that your attention belongs to you. Every time you choose depth over distraction, you're rebuilding the focus these platforms tried to steal. The lies will continue, the platforms will get more sophisticated, but so will you. You now have something most users will never have, the ability to see the game being played, and once you can see it, you can decide not to play. This isn't about perfection. You don't need to delete every app or quit social media forever. This is about awareness. about making conscious choices instead of being unconsciously manipulated. You have more power than TikTok wants you to believe, and now you know exactly how to use it.